Hey there, lads and lasses. This here is Thunderhand64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States here on a Wednesday morning. It is a little bit past 11 a.m., and that can only mean that it's time for some Generations Minecraft server. Yeah, I'm starting a little bit early today, this time intentionally. Last week, I kind of spaced it. I started early for some reason. This week, I'm intentionally starting a little bit early. The next 3 days, Kachi gets out of school, has early release before his winter break for today, tomorrow, and Friday. And so I need to wrap up my streams a little bit earlier so I can go there and fetch him and bring him on home. Shut Mountain! How's it going, dude? Dude, it is going awesome. And I hope things are going as well as they possibly can be for yourself, considering your situation and everything. How's the back? I hope you've got some, I hope Santa brought you some, or is going to bring you some decent meds. You know what I'm trying to say. But viewers, you can see from the auto shout out, please go check out fellow buffoon, moderator, and good friend Shut Mountain. Excuse me, I just breathed in some coffee again. Yeah, you'll not be disappointed. Actually, I haven't taken any pain meds in about a week now. Oh, cool. Of course, you know, the less medication, you know, you're putting into yourself, the better, right? So hopefully the pain has been endurable. And I am going to, at this point, let's set up things on Generations. You know, before I jump onto the very tolerable as of late. Absolutely. Dude, I am so glad to hear that. You know, a couple of weeks ago, when I zipped on out to Vegas, the night before, I twisted my hip really, really badly. Didn't break it, didn't tear anything, but twisted it really bad and was hobbling around, half paralyzed for those few days. And even that was tough. Never mind, you know, doing the kind of damage to my back that you've done. So. I'm actually working on trying to put together a mid, which I assume is a mod pack. Mod pack right now. You know, it's funny you should mention that because I'm thinking on doing a little bit of that myself. I'm thinking on downloading mCreator and start to mess around with that a little bit. I have something in mind I want to try, and something really small. Should be really small. And I want to start meddling around with some of that stuff myself. So might be Buffooncraft related. We'll see. But this is something I'm totally doing on my own. So and then if I have any kind of success with it, you know, I'll of course present it to the Buffoon Primes if I can get a hold of them and see what they have to say. But okay, with that being said, let us get to work on Generations. So what I've been doing for the month of December is I've been in the survival world on Generations, but I've been working in creative mode on our Christmas tree, and that's what I like to do for the month of December. We usually travel for a little bit. We vacation in December and stuff, and so I don't have the 4 or 5 streams for December. I usually only wind up having about maybe 3 of them total. So I don't mind taking a break from the creative test world with Baby Zombie Rush and survival in the survival world, and instead I just like to chill out and work on the Christmas tree each year, you know, and mess around with that a little bit in creative mode and stuff. So fun stuff to do. Yeah, same here. This is going to be an extremely light mod pack, but still have some things that add in a new aspect to the game. Yeah. And me, you know, I'm thinking of some kind of lore-related kind of stuff that I want to try. And again, you know, really light. I'm not going to... I don't plan on making, like, really crazy mod changes. it's mostly a biome environment kind of thing that I want to try, and I want to see if I can do that. So there's plenty of videos out there on how to use MCreator and stuff, and I'm thinking on doing that. Are you thinking of trying MCreator yourself, or are you going to use a different modding, or are you going to try to code it straight? Which is, wow. All right, I'm going to pull up my schematic here. And then I'm going to switch on over to the displays like this, and I'm going to put up display 2. And here you can see I'm in Affinity Designer right now. And actually, though, those are the only 3 songs I have saved on my Christmas playlist that I searched up here. So what I usually like to do is I go through this instrumental Christmas playlist on a search, and as I find the songs I like, I yank them off and I save them to the, like this one sounds pretty cool. I've been using pre-made stuffs. Unfortunately, I have no clue how to code things. Jessica Jeannie, how are you doing? You know what? Why is the auto shoutout for you not working? Because I did some work on that the other day, and I mean, I welcome in. I'm happy to see you, of course. I am here. I'm eating and then wrapping and stuff's awesome. Let me see. I'm gonna go back to cam scene. Because it knows it's silly to shout me out, so it says a no like it's mean too. Did you accidentally forget to hit save on it? You know, I might have shut, but you know, I'm switching over to the cam scene while I go in and check it out. Let me see. Let us go to Fossabot. Log in with Twitch. Take a look. Should be under keywords. And Shut, I believe you're the one who showed me how to do this. And it works for everybody else, so I have to see what happened here. Let's go into edit. And let's see, phrases. There we go. You know what? It looks like I did forget to hit save on it. Yeah, see? Okay, yeah, here's... Wow, this is so weird. So you have to type it in. You have to hit enter. And then you have to hit save. In that exact order. And there it is. Hitting save again just to make sure. Testing. All right, it looks like it's doing the right thing now. Did you possibly forget to change the instance to username as well? No, that I'm good with. And then, Shot, I believe you put in that shout out there, right? From the moderator. So thank you. Sweet Baby Ray's honey barbecue sauce makes me so happy. Ooh, barbecue sauce. There it is working. I did not. Okay. All right. Thanks. Yeah, you're right, Shut. You know, it's got to be enter, and then you have to remember to hit save, and you have to do it in that order. But we got it straightened out. Together as a team. How goes the Generations? Generations is going awesomely. Thank you very much. Let's go pull this up. Let's switch back on over to the display like this. Okay, and so let me show you what I've been doing. So for the Christmas, you know what? Before we get into this, let's go over to here. I've been posting pictures in our Discord about our progress, concerning our progress. There we go. You know, I typed in, Christmas instrumental because I don't want the vocals, and I constantly get vocals. I don't get it. Also, hey, Shut, how rude of me. How rude. Okay. So, this is what we've been building. The wool blocks are just the sketched out blocks so I can keep track. This year I'm making 5 spirals, all set 72 degrees apart. So you can see I began with the red spiral, and then the magenta spiral, and then the blue spiral, and then the green spiral, and then that's 4. And so today I want to work on the yellow spiral. That's the 5th and last spiral. That will fit into these spaces here, and that'll do it for the layout of the tree. And then what I'm thinking is each spiral will have a different kind of leaf block. I'm going to save the spruce for Phil, and maybe the birch. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other types. If we do this, F3 like that. No. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, targeted blocks. So I'm looking for the oak leaves and the jungle leaves. And then maybe the acacia leaves, but I'm thinking acacia leaves for Phil maybe, but we'll see. The dark oak leaves, and especially the mangrove leaves. So jungle leaves, definitely. Dark oak leaves, definitely. Mangrove leaves, definitely. Maybe the acacia leaves. The ones with the flowers, probably not, but maybe the acacia leaves. So that's San, Su. That would be 5. And so making each one of these, one of those 5. That way you can kind of follow the spiral up, right? I was thinking of making them all one kind of leaf, like all the mangrove on the outside, so we'll see how it looks. And then in between each of the spirals, we will fill them up with the spruce and maybe the birch. Possibly the acacia, but I'm not sure. I kind of want to keep them a darker color like this. Right? And then behind them, what I'm going to incorporate this year is the mangrove roots. The roots, because those kind of give the impression of like the smaller twigs and stuff in the branches. And so the branches that will come out for the red spiral will all be on this angle here. So you'll get a branch here. You'll get another branch here. The torch marks right where they'll connect. another one here. And so they'll go in those 72 degrees and they'll be associated with each one of these. And you know what? I feel a lot better about building this this year than I did last year. Last year I was kind of mixed up and a little confused and trying to do things that wound up being counterproductive to the other things I wanted to do, and it was a little annoying and stuff. This year I feel like I've got a good system going here and stuff. One of the cool things about this is the spiral pattern. You can see the projection from the 3D onto the 2D with the shadows down here. It's really cool. So you can see the counterclockwise or clockwise growth of the spiral. Because of the projection, it grows clockwise. But yeah, it's really cool. It has a really cool effect. Let's do some sleeping here. Oh, this tree looks so cool. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, when I pull these blocks out and replace them with the leaves, initially it's going to be a lot less colorful. But I'm just looking, sometimes it's weird how the spacing works out on these, but okay. It's like consistent, inconsistent. A little less consistent. It's, the way the growth of the radius of the spiral is related to the height that I set it at. I probably could have gone for a better proportion on that. If I did a little more math, I could have figured that out. But it gets to a point where I put too much math into it and it doesn't pan out. You got to leave a little bit of room for artistry in there, and you got to kind of wing some parts of it, and getting that balance in there between like math and artistry in there, that's a hard thing to dial in, right? If you go too much one way, too much the other, you lose the effect. So, and the mighty Lone Star, woo! Just spirals into chaos. Pretty much. Just like that. Let me see. I did make a note in the Discord pics to give a little backstory about this dude right here. So, for the longest time, I am not a Billy Joel fan, but that just came to mind. I've had these Villager Reserve pens out here for years. And Princess Nebula has been asking me, what are you going to do with these? Well, not too long ago, I figured, okay, I'm going to, on top of the Chamber of Commerce, put the Villager Reserves and stuff up here. Not so much a Villager Breeder. I don't think it'll work so well up here, but just make Villager Reserve chambers, and then I can use this shaft here to distribute them down to the different levels in my Chamber of Commerce here, right? And so they can be distributed for the librarian levels, right? The cleric level and the farmer level, right? And just do that. Right, so I wanted to move these guys up here, and eventually, sometime, I don't know when, I'll get around to doing that. However, sometimes these dudes escape. How? I don't know, but sometimes they do. And sometimes the Iron Golems escape. Again, how? I don't know. And so they go wandering the streets of Mushroom Island Central. And then things like this happen. This is Kachi's chicken farm that he made here as a prank last April Fool's. Right? Dude, you're going to climb out finally? I think if I set that down, he possibly could. I don't know. But another one, I think I might have left the gate open, and another one had wandered into here. So one fine day, I decided, you know what? And he's been here for a long time. And so I figured just a few days ago, you know what? I'm going to put down a little bed and a little lectern there for you and give you a little job and stuff. And so you can actually have some sort of function here. And you can be the dude who lives in the tree. The tree keeper. So, as I've been working away on this guy's been keeping me company here with his right? And one morning, a few mornings ago, I came out here to put in one of the spirals, and he was gone. He was gone. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened to him? Did he die? Well, he didn't escape. All the gates are closed. I don't think anything got in here and killed him. And so I'm thinking, where could he possibly go? You know, I mean, he can't go down. And then I'm looking at the ladder and I'm like, no way. No way I come running out here and I flew up here to the top. And sure enough, our bold, adventurous friend had taken it upon himself to climb to the very top of the tree. Why? I don't know. But here he remained for many days. And he had climbed up here for some reason and then refused to climb down. And instead, you know, fancied himself master of all he surveyed. Why? I don't know. This game still holds surprises, and they're just hilarious. So I left him there. And then I started to have some height discrepancies with the terminations of these spiral helixes. Helixes. Yes, that's the plural of that. And so I needed to remove the end crystal that I had here, which you know is always a precarious thing. And so I boxed it in with, because I'm in creative mode, I boxed it in with bedrock, and then when I deleted it, it of course exploded, and it didn't do any damage except to our friend. It killed him. I was hoping he would be protected by the bedrock, and he was not. And so I reincarnated him and brought him back to the overworld. And he has since gained some wisdom and hasn't climbed the ladder since. But I did really enjoy having him to the top of the ladder. Who knows? Maybe he'll climb back up there at some point. But since he had climbed too close to the sun and had met his demise, I've decided to name him. And he shall henceforth be known as Mr. Is it Icarus? Let me do this. Yeah, there we go. I was spelling it correctly. Jeez, Thunder, come on, man. Do your thing. There we go. You, sir, shall henceforth be named Mr. Icarus. And that's who you're going to be. But I got to tell you, you die the next time, and I'm not bringing you back. All right. All right. Are you naming him Icarus? How did I know? Great minds, Shut. Great minds. Mr. Greener Canuck and I had a few of those moments recently. But Mr. Icarus it is. Merry Christmas. Welcome back, Mr. Icarus. All right, what I'm going to do from here now is let's work on the yellow spiral, but we have a little mapping out to do before we start building it. So let's go back into Affinity Designer, and I'll show you how I do this. And I'm going to log off a generation so I won't cause any untimely deaths again. Well, there was two choices. It was either that or the Lorax. Yeah, it wasn't Daedalus because he made it, right? So that or the Lorax, yeah, because he's the tree keeper. Yeah, nice. Nice. All right, let's do this. Okay, so the way I've found the best way to lay these out is to do this thusly. There we go. Let's get to the zoom here, and I zoom here. So what I do is first of all, I rotate the spiral so I get on the start point that I want. So here's the first start point. That's the red spiral started here. The magenta spiral started here. All 72 degrees apart because there's 5 of them, right? And then the blue spiral started here, and then the green one here. So I'm going to have to take this spiral design that I cranked out and rotate it one more time so it begins here, right? Actually, it begins atop from the center and works its way downward, and it terminates there if you know, mathematically, that's how spirals grow from the center out. But the way we build it is from the outside, from the bottom up. So that's why I say begin here. So I need to rotate this 90 degrees. And then what I do is I just place the blocks over the spiral. Each one of these squares represents a block. And I just try to estimate that spiral the best I can. And this is where the art comes in. You just eyeball this, right? And you just try to decide, you know, whereabouts this will go, right? And so the first spiral, I counted up the blocks. The height that I want to go is 70 blocks. And I counted up the blocks, and I found that it's probably, I'll do steps in 4s. Works out pretty good. So I'll do 4 blocks on one level, then I'll go up a block, 4 more blocks, up a block. And so that's why they're alternated light and dark by 4s here. And that way I can check as I go along, and I make, you know, it helps me make sure that I get the registration and stuff. So we need to make a new one of these. So let us take the lock off of this. There we go. And let us copy this over. Let's duplicate this layer. And let's move it into position like that. Okay, I can turn that off now. Let's lock this one up. I can turn that off. And let's just work with this. All right, so I need to rotate this about 72 more degrees so it's over here now. All right, and what I usually like to do is put the original spiral underneath it, and then take this spiral and make it translucent. Like that, then I can see one overlapping the other. And that way, when I rotate this, I can line it up. All right. And whatever it currently is, 126, we should just add 72 onto that. And it should bring me to about 198. So if I do my rotation here, and then I pull this back to the center. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and you can see now that it will start or terminate depending on where you're starting, inside out, outside in, right on that last mark. And then let me see, I like to turn this off, bring this back to 100% opacity. And then I like to zoom up on this. And then I like to try to center this as best I can, right? It doesn't have to be super exact. 4's like a bar. The Mighty Lodestar. All right, I'm going to have to pan out a little bit so I can move this thing. Is that enough? Will that allow me to move it? Yeah, there it is. All right, and let's take off the snap a little bit. Right there is very, very close. I like that. And I'm just using this inner circle shape here to register it. And this is good enough. And so then let's lock that in place. So then we get something like this. Okay. Now we'll start a, let's rename this. And let's pull up a little bit more. Let me see. I want a little bit more Christmas music here. Discover. Let's do this. So I'm on Epidemic Sound right now. And then instrumental. And please just give me the instrumental stuff. You know, that's... There we go. Okay, let's get back to renaming this. This one is the Yellow Spiral. They're just color-coded just to keep them manageable. Pretty sure I said instrumental. Pretty sure I said instrumental. Please. Just the instrumental, please. Yeah, see? Instrumental! Please. All right, that's pretty good. So let's get over to here. If I do this right and I place this right, it makes copying pasting a lot easier. All right, so let me see. Let's take this is actually spiral number 5. And then we'll make a new layer on top of that. Like that. And that just helps keep things organized. Let's do this. I place my floating block right about here. Oh, let's do this correctly. Let's put the snap back on. So let's fix the outline. And let's fix it as in none. And then the fill, let's make the fill yellow. Here we go. And so if I do this and I do the copy like that, Control V, paste. Now I just drag these over like this and I make this layer, again, translucent so I can see the spiral beneath it. So we just go 4s from here on out, right? So Control V like this, and we just stick these on top of this thusly. Yeah, we just kind of use the blocks to estimate that spiral there, right? And so we can just eyeball it in there. See? I know music. Well, it's a bar in 4/4, right? And then if I go up to here, and I go here, all I do to make these darker for the next row is do that. And then I do the next 4. And now I can just do that kind of a thing. Like this. And then, you know, you got to make decisions here, right? Because if I put a block there and a block there, you're not going to see the one behind it, right? And you want to use as few blocks as possible, right? And so you have to kind of decide, you know, this block or that block. And I usually, how much of the spiral is into the block? If there's more in one block than the other, then I'll use that block, you know, if not. But it's mostly just eyeballing it, just fudging it in there, right? It's whatever looks good, right? Like that. Okay, and you can see, you know, I'm just dropping these in here by eye, right? Put that one in there, 1, 2. And then, like this, I have a choice between this one and this one. Usually I'll favor the outer block if they look like they're the same. I really don't want to waste time like niggling over this block or that block. You know, there's no time for that. Just easy decision-making parameters. That's good. Now see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to be careful because that will throw everything off. So there is a little bit of concentration required. Can't tell you how many times well, 5. 5 times I've gotten to the top and I'd be scratching my head. Or, you know, most of the time it's not I get to the top. I can see something's wrong like within the first turn or two. Right, so... Because I have a couple of techniques in place that help me register these. So it doesn't prevent me from making mistakes, but it does show me when I do. So it's pretty easy to figure out where I went wrong. So. Sometimes I look at these and I wonder, right? I mean, should I do that there? I think I'm going to do something like that. I tend to kind of move them outward, when in doubt. So, but like I said, I don't want to get too involved in the decision-making I just want to drop these. I just want to spam these on top of this spiral. That's... There we go. I don't know. Maybe like that. There we go. This sounds like Christmas carols done by the 80s Brit band Squeeze. I think of Squeeze when I hear this. With Paul Karras. Yeah, they're ripping off Squeeze big time. All right. So you can see we're almost finished the first turn here. Okay. Thinking there, and there. And you know what? This actually goes a little faster when I have the monitor down on the desktop. And I think I've showed you guys this before, maybe. So this is the Gaomon PD2200. So it's a tablet monitor combination. And so this allows you to draw right on the monitor like a tablet for doing artwork and stuff. But it also functions as a regular monitor too. So it's a super cool double threat multitasker. And it's expensive. This took me a while. Working for the man. But just before I resigned, I saved up like a huge bundle of cash to buy the equipment I need to do this. And this is one of the things I wanted to get. And so, now I can pull it down off of the shelf and I can have it on the desktop here and I could just work with the stylus. It's better to do that with drawing, but sometimes when I'm doing work like this, it's just faster to do it this way. And then they have this silly like little spandex glove. You might have seen like the manga artists use this, right? So yeah, I have a Clip Studio, right? And I do some of my artwork in Clip Studio. But this just helps your hand slide across the the screen, because otherwise because it's smooth, right? It won't slide across the screen. So this process go a little bit quicker here. So I can just do this, and I could just grab this, and I can drag it down like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And it just makes things go a little bit quicker. I think the more common brand for this is like the Chinese knockoff, the Gaomon. The Cintiq is probably the one that's more popular, right, from Wacom. Like a bad Michael Jackson. Hee hee. The glove. Remember all that talk about the glove in the 80s and the early 90s? I realize some of you might not have been born yet, but some of you are. Some of you had been. I think you guys can see this goes a lot quicker this way. The mouse is just really awkward for this kind of a thing. But these mathy kinds of Minecraft builds, you may think like, some of you might think like, oh man, sit there and lay out all those blocks at first. But when it comes time to build it, it's really fast. So, a lot of people like building creative first, and then they use that creative model, and then they duplicate that in the survival world and everything. This is a similar process to that. This is probably a little easier than that. So, in some ways, and you just make a little schematic like this. And if you're not used to the software, it's awkward, sure, but if you're used to it, it's not. If you spend some time getting down some sort of graphics app like this. This is Affinity Designer, and it's pretty cheap. It acts a lot like Adobe Illustrator. But of course, it's not subscription based. It's just a one-time flat fee, and I think it's less than $100 US. And then you just have the license for it forever. It's really cool. Load says, I was. Yeah, I know you were born. I know you were around back then, dude. Usually when I'm not streaming this, I can knock out the schematic and build the spiral in a little less than an hour. Like that green spiral I put in, I just knocked that out yesterday morning. But, streaming and messing around with things, it slows me down a little bit, but not in a bad way. There's no deadline. There's no boss over my shoulder. Ha, those days are over. So just build, build, build. All right, you can see this goes along quite a bit quicker. Thing is, you just can't get too excited here, and you got to pay attention and count these things out, and make sure you're in 4s here, and one of these isn't a 3 or a 5. You know. You know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world, it's just unnecessary delays. To have to go back and try to figure out where things went awry, as Bobby Burns would say. Good lad, that Robert Burns. Poet laureate. There we go. And then see, if you zoom up on this, it's like, is there more red in this square or in this square? They're about equal, so, you know, don't niggle, just stick it on the outside. Where it's going to be seen. Or more likely to be seen. Ugh. So it's super cool. We have Biggie home from university for a few weeks. And he's out with his squeeze today. Go down to Long Beach. We have Kachi getting out of school early. Friday's his last day before his winter break. We have some friends visiting from Taiwan. They'll be here probably on Friday. They're going to go see their parents up in Vancouver, but they're going to stop into LA here for a little bit. Yeah, let's put that there. And then we have Christmas morning to open up the presents. And then we're off. We're off to Big Bear for 4 days, I think. We usually go up there, rent a cabin, do the snowboarding, right? Hopefully I don't injure myself. I'm almost 60, you know. I turn 60 next year. The thing is, we don't have a lot of snow on the mountains this year. You know, so it's so this time around it's going to be all artificial snow. So, you know, not that great this year. But it's still nice to get up there, you know, off the desert floor where it's cooler and more comfortable. And there's like trees and water. It reminds me of home. But then, you know, when you have enough of it and you get done playing in the snow, you just come back down home to the valley floor and it's, you know, 70 degrees. It's like the upper 20s C, you know, here. Sun shining. It's wonderful, nice and cool. Best time of year to be here. But we're supposed to get an extremely wet late winter and spring this year, like we did last year. So we may make another trip up to Big Bear if we get a lot of snow later on in the spring. Last spring, we actually caught the very fringe of a hurricane last year. This is the first time in Southern California in like since 1932 or 36. You be careful at your age. Yeah. Like when I threw out my hip at the dojo a couple of weeks ago. I've got my older son, Biggie Cheese, looking after me, so it should be okay. The only thing I'm going to miss this year, though, is no Christmas dinner this year, because we're not going to be here for Christmas. We're just going to be here for the morning, just to open up the gifts and everything, and then we got to hit the road right away. So that kind of sucks, because I really love making me a big old Christmas dinner. And I could do it the day before and stuff, but like I say, you know, we have guests coming in and stuff, and we've got all kinds of stuff going on. It's just, you know, I don't like it to be stressful. That takes all the enjoyment out of it. And my lads, you know, they're not experienced enough yet to make Christmas dinner on their own. Though I wish they would hurry up. It'd be nice to hand that off to them, but it's cool. You know, I can hand off a lot of the driving now to my older son. That's a huge relief. Because I have to do a lot of driving, people, and that's really bad. In Southern California at my age, that's really bad. Though I still do all the driving when we go to Big Bear. I let Biggie, my older son, do a little bit of the driving, but I'm the only one really who has any experience driving on snow and ice, because I'm from New England, so I usually do all the driving up there. Yeah, the bass on this sounds really nice. It's not difficult to play, but it's mixed really well, and I can tell that they're using the Boss Octaver on that. Oh, no, they're not. No, they're using a 5-string on that. That bass string sounds really tight. No Christmas dinner! I hate driving on the snow, but sometimes it has to be done. Well, for us, you know, it's just something you just get used to. You know, it's just... And you know what? We have the little RAV4 SUV hybrid with the all-wheel drive, and that thing is awesome. Okay, so we got an ad break going right now. And there we are. We're back. A little ad break. But if I got wiped out by the ad, I was saying we have the Toyota RAV4 SUV, and it's got the all-wheel drive. And that thing is the best, most stable vehicle I've ever driven in the snow. I am super impressed with that. Okay, how am I doing for time here? 12:05. Wow, I'm actually at the halfway point here. But you know what? I'm going to remain in sitting mode just so I can finish working on this. And then after a few more minutes just to close up on this spiral, and then I'll switch to standing mode when it comes time to jumping back in the server and placing the blocks. Misui is now following. Sue, or is it Sue? I'm gonna say Miss Sue. How's that? Is that okay? But thank you for the follow. And welcome to stream. First one is good? Okay. Yeah, no problem. Welcome to stream. This may not look like it, but we're actually doing Minecraft. But, you know, we're just laying out our design first before we build it. Before we start placing blocks. So how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. See, that's 5 blocks there instead of 4. There we go. Yeah, I noticed that. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. And we're closing in on this now. Oh, nice chord there. All right, let's do this here. That and that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Seems good, though. Okay. Doing well, thanks. Thanks for asking. Super cool. Thunder is meticulous when building things. He needs to map everything out. Mathematician, yeah. So, retired math teacher. So, often, actually, I like to try to use some math in my Minecraft builds and stuff. But also, I like to try to get away from that, though, too. You know, so I try to do some more natural and intuitive kind of terraforming builds and stuff and wing it per se. But some things, you know, I like to go real mathy with. In my annual Christmas tree build, I like to do math with that. And being of the Celtic heritage, you know, I like doing the spirals. And the math for the spirals is pretty easy, so if you're doing the Archimedean ones, well, even if you're doing like the logarithmic spirals and stuff, they're not that bad. They still, relationship still turns out to be pretty linear. So what I'll do is I'll map it out in Desmos or GeoGebra first. If any of you are familiar with those. Yeah, let's do that. And then I'll take a screenshot and I'll cut it and paste it onto a layer here in Affinity Designer. And then I'll just place blocks over it the best I can to try to approximate it. But if you haven't already and you want to see something really cool, Buffooncraft Season 4 build. That's perhaps the coolest thing I've ever built in Minecraft. And you can check out all of that stuff. Shut, if you wouldn't mind putting up the link for the Buffooncraft Discord. I might have changed it, though. That's cool. Or should I call you sir? Please don't. Exclamation point BC Discord. There it is. Shut you the man. You're the man. So this generation stream, this is my private server. I usually work solo on this, although I have guests on every now and then to you know, like co-streams. We'll do some adventures, or we'll have a little contest, or we'll build something together or something like that. Occasionally I do that, but this generation server, this is my Minecraft server. But I also participate in an SMP called Buffooncraft, where we've got some incredible builders, and a few of the folks in stream right now, Shut Mountain, our moderator, and Lone Star, they're fellow buffoons, and so we build on that server together. And you should definitely check that out. We build some incredible things in there. Got you. All right, now here's where things start to get a little squirrely. Because you're tightening up on this spiral now, and it's like, you've got to make decisions here. And you just got to be satisfied with just doing the best you can here by placing blocks. So you can see this doesn't come out to a nice integer value of 4, which is, It's okay. It's going to be fine. The idea is to estimate the spiral. You're never going to get it exact, so just get as close as you can. And now, I like to go around just quickly here and just make sure, see if I can see any mistakes. Just make sure that these are all groups of 4. And usually these will jump right out at you. If I've made a mistake, you can usually pick them out fairly easily. That's the reason to do the 2 different colors, right, and alternate them. Just makes troubleshooting that much faster. See, look right here. Yeah, see, we went astray here. We went only 2 and then back to 4. Easy enough to fix, though. Nope, that's not what I want. Let me do what I want, please. Please. There we go, like that. And then like this, and then it's mostly just changing the colors of these. Mostly. See, I want to add that to the swatch, and it's not letting me do that. Usually I just have both colors right on the swatch. And so I can just, here we go. Nice. See, now I can just select like that, and it's a little bit quicker to fix. And believe me, nothing sucks more than building along and then all of a sudden it's like things don't line up. Fuck. Going a little too fast here. There we go. Let's do this. And let me see. Let's get caught up in chat here. Be warned, alone does smell, though. I've spotted a mistake. I'm probably going to get around to it. Should I add cooking mods for the pack I'm working on? You know what? Yeah. I think you should. You know, I think the food aspect of Minecraft doesn't get utilized enough. Okay, that's cool. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Then we'll do another check. But I suspected something was up because when I got to the end, things didn't kind of line up well here. So. All right. Yeah, it's still a little weird. It's still a little weird. So if I took this, did that. It'd probably look better if I did. Okay. Yeah, this is much more satisfying. Okay. All right. Ends on a nice multiple of 4. Doing that lurky stuff. Please do, dear. Thank you so much for the lurk. All right, and let's do a little check. We can go from the outside in, inside outwards. So that's 4, 4, this 4, this 4, 4. And again, you know, this is pretty easy to check, like I said before. You see how fast we spotted that other mistake. I mean, it's easy to make mistakes, but they're also easy to see and easy to fix. Thing is, you got to get a system down. And I think that was my only mistake, knock on wood. Yeah, it looks like it. We're good. All right, a couple things that have to be done. Go a little bit bigger than that. Maybe a little bigger than that. Okay, that's good. Okay, let us bring this back momentarily to 100, and let's take all these sub layers and make those translucent. Okay, that's better. And then I'm just putting guidelines here at the axes, which is always super helpful. There we go, and the original drawing already has one on there. Okay, that looks cool. That way, this helps me with the coordinates. When I get around there, y should be, like on this block here, y should be 0, right? And then when I get to this block here, x should be 0, y should be 0, x should be 0, and I can check those blocks all the way around using the coordinates in Minecraft, right? So we can lock that down now, and let's do a save. And we're all set to go. Okay, so I can put this stuff away. I like to keep the stylus out because it's easy to count blocks when I have to count them. But the monitor can go back up on the shelf. There we go. And so you can see I, you know, now get to use it as a monitor again, right? So monitor, other monitor, and then third monitor there. So, okay. Now let's take this ridiculous glove off. Let me do it for time here. 12:24. All right. So I have 36 minutes left. Let's switch to standing mode. Because I'm an old man and I have to maintain my flexibility as best I can. There we go. Sweet. Tearing their hair out. Okay, so even though that's off, you know, I can see the other monitor. I can use it as a guide. All right, and let's go into... Let's log on to the server now. And so I don't know how much you saw, Sui, from earlier, but this is what it looks like when you build one of these spirals now. And so we're working on the final one now. We're working on this yellow one. And I need to check the coordinates on this. When I originally laid it out, I had a different size in mind. And so the starting block, I got to measure that out. So that's going to be... should be -6 in the Y, and it should be 19. So if I do this, 7, 19, it's got to go in by 1. In by 1 this way, I think. Yeah. All right, so it needs to start there. And then we got to make sure that the height is 69. It should be. Okay, cool. There's that. Six. And one other thing I want to check is... Good. All right. Just checking out my registration, make sure I'm doing good there. And I am. Yeah, I saw some images in the server. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, now, unfortunately, I'm going to leave the GUI up above so I can track the coordinates while I build here. And now it's just a matter of just following this schematic, right? Like this. So there's the first 4 like that. And then you need to go up 1 like this. And the next 4 look like this. Like that. And now I'm just following the drawing that I made. Like that. And this might look a little weird to you guys because you're not seeing me following the drawing on the other screen, but trust me. Trust the process, as Shelbs would say, our other buffoon. Like this, and... Okay, and now what I like to do is I just like to check this. This should be the third block, 1, 2, 3, and this should be this should have an X of 0, and it does. So see, I can check and make sure that my registration is like right on the money. So far, so good. Like that. So every time I come around to the cardinal axes like that, I can just do a quick check and make sure that my registration is good. Like that. Okay, good. Let's come on up like this, and then we'll come over like this. You can see placing these is actually pretty fast once, and that's the whole point of doing the diagram first, right? Okay, we're good. We're good. It should be on the second block. My Z should be 0, and it is. Good. Check complete. And then this will kick up like that. And like that. And this was pretty much a lot of Buffooncraft. Buffooncraft Season 4 was a lot of this kind of stuff. But the results were well worth it. I think they were anyway. Very satisfying. Okay, that looks like that. And this should be x equals 0, and it is. Nice. And you can see how this is filling in that gap now, right? It looks like it's going to be nighttime. And also, like I pointed out earlier, you know, you can see how the spiral pattern, the shadow is making the spiral pattern on the ground. So it's cool. It's very cool. All right, so this goes like this and like that. Okay, we're cool there. We're going to have to do some sleeping here pretty soon. Right, 1. I think this is 2, 3, 4, like that. I just want to double check this. That goes like that. This steps up here, and those go there. Great. All right, let's do a little sleeping. I see, I see. I see, says the blind man. All right, so we left off there. This steps up one like this. You can see Mr. Icarus has come on out to greet the morning. And let me see, this kicks outward like that and like that. The other cool thing about doing this in 4s is, you know, my brain can hold a pattern of about 4 blocks. If it's more, then it can do about maybe 5, but when it gets to about 6 blocks, that's when things get fuzzy. So I can just look at a grouping of 4 blocks, you know, and I don't really have to, you know, go block by block per se, which makes things go a little quicker. I like that. And then this comes up here, san, like that. And then, let me see, this should be 0 in the Z. And it is 0 in the Z. And then we go up here. So our registration is still on. We're still doing good. No mistakes so far that I can see anyway. So that's good. We're here. I need to kick up one like that. Fuck. Like this. Good. This next feature should be pretty easy to do. Thusly. Right. And then that can come up like that. This strikes me as this track here, this song here. A little bit of Pink Floyd, but very, very much so Procol Harum. Whiter shade of pale. Okay, that's good. And then this should kick up. And this first block should have an X of 0. Does it? Yes, we're doing good. As you can see, it's less and less blocks as we go up because the spiral gets tighter and tighter as the radius reduces. So the building goes a little quicker. But also there's a little bit more checking to do as well, so... Good. Right there. Right. Okay, that's good. And let me see, it's the second block, should have a Z of 0. And it does. Look at that. This should be the second turn in, and it is. All right. And so that means we got to come up by one block like that. And then do that kind of a pattern, like that. Then we've got another easy pattern like this to do. And again, these blocks won't be used for the tree themselves. We'll replace these with leaf blocks, but we're just sketching it out. We're using these to sketch out the different spirals to get them in place first. Let me see, we're still on the second turn here, and we have this kind of a feature again, which I like because it's very easy to do, very easy to see, and very easy to check. Or did I already do that one? Yeah, see, I got to be careful because I just repeated that. All right. Let me see, we do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This has to come up like that. And then like this. Okay, that's better. That's better. And then san, su, like that. And then san, su, like that. And then this should be 0 in the X, and it is on that first block of that grouping. And then we'll come around here. And I'm thinking that does that. Sounds like this, right? Yes. Then this comes around like that. That's those two features. Okay, and then we have another easy run to do. And it should be the third block. Should have a Z of 0, and we're right on the money. Nice. I was reading your announcements. It's too long. You think so, huh? Just has a greeting, and then it says we're going to be an hour earlier. Looking forward to see you then. That's 3 sentences. Excuse me. Let's see. Where am I here? Right there. Okay, I need to step up and do those two like that. And let me see, this actually moves inward like that, right? And then moves across like that. And let me see, we are on the, we gotta be careful now, we're on the third turn in this direction. Yeah, okay. I feel like I'm a little off here. 1, 2, 3, like this. So I should have pulled out of here. Okay, this goes like this. Hold on. Nope. It goes like that. There we go. Now we're back on track. Okay, cool. Oh no. I see another mistake right here. I see another design mistake. Yep. Okay, so we've got to make a correction, but it should be pretty easy to do. So I'm going to log off of this again for a little bit. Yeah, it was in your Twitch bio. Oh, that one. Yeah, that's that's one of the things I have to update this year. On the Twitch page. Yeah, I used to put all of my announcements and news and messages all on that one thing until I moved it over to the Discord. So you'll see the dates on those are really old. So we got a little correction we got to make. And that is right. I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor. Actually, I don't think you can. But it's right here. Let me do this. Let me unlock that. Okay, here's where it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. Not cool. Why are you not changing color? There. Okay. 4. There we go. 4. Let's put 4 there. 4 here. Okay, that's cool. I don't count this center block, so 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. But you can see how easy it is to overlook one of these and miscount them. My brain's limit looks like it's at about 4 blocks. So, as far as looking at a pattern, I learned that from the Season 4 build. I mean, I've already laid out these blocks, but still. All right. This. Okay, I can't see anything there. I think we're all right. Again. Okay, we should be locked in here now. Good. Great. And we should be back in business. All right. Let's put the tablet back up there. Angle it back a little bit. And now back to building. With about 12 minutes left of the stream. And it's nighttime. Mr. Icarus, you've got to get back in there to get to sleep. Or else bad things are going to happen to you. Although I think he's pretty safe in there. Yeah, his biggest danger is from me. Apparently. And there we go. Good morning to you, sir, down there. Okay, so let me see. We are on this side. We are 1, 2. We're on the 3rd turn on this side, and I just finished that feature. So this should come up now and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 4th block should have a... Yeah, it does. An X of 0. That's nice. We'll mark that off. And then this should come up 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Erase this up like this. Or like that. Great. That, and then off the tail of this one, that should be raised like that, and it looks like the 3rd block, sun like this, should have a Z of 0. Yeah, we're doing good. This should raise up 2 and 2 like that. Then this should come on over like this. You can see now this is starting to get kind of tight in here, right? And it should too. This is how this works. The gap closes up as we get closer to the top. And this first block should have a Z of 0, and indeed it does. And this should be the 3rd turn in on the southern side. Yes, okay. Or like this. No. Third turn in. This goes here. And then this does this. Right. And then this comes out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then this rises up. 1, 2, 3, 4 in that grouping. And this block here should have an X of 0. I mean a Z of 0, and indeed it does. Okay, that's that. That should come up thusly. And let me see, how does this look? This should do this, this, and then come over like that. Good. 2, 3, 4 like that. Yes. And then this should come up. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Yeah, and then we need to check this. This should be the last block in this group of 4. Should have an X of 0. Indeed it does. Coming into the home stretch. 12:53 too. We're going to finish this off. One, and then this should kick outward for this next one. 2 like that. Okay, here's where something has gone awry. Okay, let's find out what happened. Oh, I see it. Where am I? I'm on the 1, 2, 3, 4th turn in. 4th turn in. This comes off of here. Those two do that. These two do this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be on the second. We're good. We're actually good. That should have a Z of 0, and it does. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay, and then let's do this. Two, 3, 4, like that. 2, 3, 4, and let's check the registration here. It should be on the second one. Should have the X of 0. Indeed it does. And this is where the blocks start to merge together at the top, right? So, and not so aesthetically pleasing way, but we'll work that out later. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. That should kick in like this. 1, 2, 3, like that. This should jump up by 1, 1, 2, and this first block should be should have the Z of 0. Indeed it does. And I want to make sure that I have this right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. And then this kicks up. 1, 2. Comes around here. 3, 4, like that, I think. Yes. And then this should come around 1, 2, 3 like that. And 4 like that. And then this should come around 1, 2 like this. And then 3, 4, and then we're done. All right, and let's do this. Yeah, okay. And that should do it. That should do it, people. All right, so that should we're at time. We're 4 minutes before time too, so that's really cool. What's going to happen next now is the spaces between these spiral arms will be filled with the spruce and the birch blocks, and then the blocks in the spiral arms will be replaced by each with a different kind of leaf block, which will be a brighter leaf block, and that should give the kind of distinction there. And then behind it we'll install the branches coming out from the trunk, and then we'll use the root blocks for twigs in between there to make it look kind of cool, to fill in behind it a little bit. And we may do some backfilling with some of these blocks here, the moss, the wool, probably not the concrete or the terracotta, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Look at that from the looking straight up. That looks cool, huh? And so then we'll decorate it. And you know what might look kind of cool, since we have colored candles? Maybe use red decorations along this branch, magenta decorations along, maybe, to correspond with our 5 beacons. All right, so the kind of shots I like to take now, I like to take one from the beacon here looking downward. So let's grab a screenshot of that. And then one opposite of that over here. And if I line up that yellow beam with a white center beam like this and just do that kind of a thing before it gets too dark. There we go. Now I've got my 2 screenshots. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's do our sleeping thing, and then we're done. Done. By the way, where are my following emotes? Right, and so I'm pretty far behind. I make my own emotes. And so I've got a number of emotes that are in the queue waiting to go and stuff. And so what I do each year is I take about a month off. It's usually January. And I do just everything to update the stream. So follower emotes, yeah, that's one thing I have to do. I'm like a really small streamer, and, I don't, with a small community and stuff, and I don't have any aspirations of like a super huge blowing up and becoming like a super famous streamer. I just do this, I have my little community and stuff, and this is the scale at which I like to stream. Okay, I have to run now at this point and go pick up my son Kachi from school and bring him on home. And let me pose for a thumbnail. Probably somewhere around here. Because content creator, I have to think about those things. Let me see, let's do F5 with my little Santa skin. And let's be holding the yellow wool block because that's the one we are working with today. And I'm thinking maybe something like that. Our tree, everyone. Shut Mountain. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. But Sui, I greatly appreciate you dropping by and checking out the stream, and thank you so much for the follow. With this, I'm actually going to sign right on out because I got to actually jump right in the car and leave. So with that, I will not do a raid today. But I'm thinking, my friend Jeannie is streaming right now. I should do a raid and run at the very least. I think I can set that up. So if you would like to come along with us, there is our raid message. You can copy and paste that into the chat if you would like to join us. And I encourage everybody, to follow along on the raid with us. Even if you can't stay for the whole stream, at least drop in, say hi. And maybe drop a follow, some bits, a sub, would be really cool if you feel so inclined. Family-friendly viewers, just be advised that our friend Jeannie has a mature rating on her stream, so sometimes there's some language and stuff, but she's super cute, cool. We share a lot of our community and stuff, and it's just a really fun stream. So with that, let's set up the raid. And the raid is counting down. So just remember that we do this generation stream every Wednesday, typically from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, since I'm here on the West Coast of the United States. Today I just did it an hour earlier. Our next stream will be Buffooncraft SMP stream. That will be Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. And we'll be working on the Buffooncraft server. And then our subsequent stream after that should be Sunday. We should still be able to squeeze in a Kachi time on Sunday from 4 p.m. To 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Kachi will probably be doing Roblox and stuff. And that's it. We should be taking a little break to travel and for Christmas. And so if I don't see you guys then, enjoy your holiday if you're celebrating holidays this season. And thank you everybody for showing on up. We'll see you again next time. Raiding out to Jeannie now.